So you're telling me my only options tonight would be reviewing someone who makes the same songs over and over and over, whose fan base is never going to like anything that I say critical of them? What's my second option? Conway the Machine? Ain't that the same thing? What up YouTube, F.K.T.G's back for another review, and before we go ahead and jump into this album review, first I got to give you context in order for you to understand how I've come to this point of understanding this guy's individual music. And if you feel as though you already know enough about Conway the Machine, then you can fast forward to this point here. But till then, first let's jump into who is Conway the Machine. Conway is a founding member of the Griselda record label, who is the cousin of Benny the Butcher. What he brings to the table is the same thing that the rest of them bring to the table. We're not just Griselda, we're also talking the Black Soprano family. Like, all these individuals from this area are riding the wave of what sound made that city hot, instead of trying to create the next sound. But when you look at Conway as an individual, he is the embodiment of flooding the market, because he's been releasing a lot of music. You did, like, just for this year, I believe he's going to try to have about 5 projects that he had his hands in. And I'm not saying right or wrong, good or bad. I'm just saying when you deliver as much music as he's delivered over this time period, man, then you will come to realize his fundamental flaws. What does he do best? His lyricism, especially with bars that pertain to sporting events and things of that nature, to drug dealing, and then talking about women and stuff as well. He has some pretty good bars to go along with that. What are his flaws? His delivery, how he's pretty much giving us these lyrics, how he's telling us them, that's honestly not completely right. His flow, how he's saying it on the beat, and his lackluster ability to craft quality songs, how he's lacking in hooks, how he's not really doing bridges at all. Maybe he doesn't even understand the dimensions that adds to your music by having a bunch of different things to it, instead of just, okay, 16 bars, hook, 16 bars, hook, and don't even put any time and effort into your hook. But that brings us to this album review, From a King to a God, where it checks off the entire list of what the Griselda sound is all about. Does it have a bunch of samples in there from popular movies that pertain somewhat to some of the songs? Yes. Does it have that super dry Alchemist sound that many people find it difficult to actually rhyme on? Yes. Not all the way through though, but yes. Is it all bars and no concepts? Absolutely. And sadly, there's only 2 songs off this project that I found interesting. Not even like they were amazing, they were just interesting enough. And it's not the songs with Method Man, who a lot of you really love Method Man and such, man. I like Method Man too, but his song was pretty trash. Not the one with Lloyd Banks up on there either. Not the Griselda track that Spurs 3, because that just shows you just how amateurish that this sound ultimately becomes, because they keep doing it the same way and not polishing anything at all. Instead, it's the few songs that decided to lean away from the Griselda wholesale sound, like that Seen Everything But Jesus with Freddie Gibbs on there, where that song is easily by far the best song off of him. And Freddie Gibbs didn't even do the most amazing job on it, and I knew it was coming, because when he did a full Alfredo project that did the whole sound, it was clear that they had been in the lab together. So of course there's going to be a bunch of crossovers to happen, not only on this project but probably many more in the future. But it's the combination of these 2 lyricists doing the things and the vibe that they give off on top of a upgraded production. And the same thing goes for that Nothing Less that was produced by DJ Premier, where he's delivering that NYC sample soul food joint that he's known for throughout the years. That style actually does work kind of well with what Conway brings to the table. It's just Conway is just not polished enough to make it into a hit. Honestly though, I'm beginning to listen to Griselda not so much for quality music anymore. I'm really only focused in on the lyricism, and we're gonna break that on down here in the next segment, the bars. Black Soprano family. Now, in the Black Soprano family review, I said that the music reminds me of E&J, in which if I'm going to say that about them, then the same thing has to apply here because they're all doing the exact same thing. It's just when you look at Conway, he reminds me of apple flavor E&J. It's the same potency, hits you right in the chest. It's just not as rough around the edges as the regular E&J. It's actually a bit more popular right now than the original E&J. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing, just a whole different flavor. And some of my favorite bars around this whole project revolve around sporting because, as I said before, that's really like where he's at his best. Like how he said he gave my whole crew of shooters the ultimate green light. He's D'Antoni. As that's cool because D'Antoni is the coach of the Houston Rockets, who they changed the whole philosophy of the team to, we don't need any big players. All we need is small players that'll shoot threes and put up points. You can shoot it within the first 3 seconds of the shot clock if need be. How he said, I put her in the CCs, the 2Fs, the GGs, and he's in a bunch of other ones as well. But then I'm going to pass her like CP3. That's cool because he's listing off famous brands from Fendi to Gucci and all of that stuff that he's going to put this woman in the acronyms, but then also listed Chris Paul in his acronym in order to tell you how he's passing her off because Chris Paul is an assist man. My next favorite would be how he got the lamb in his name like a CD. Now that was pretty dope too because what he's talking about is I got a Lamborghini in my name, but yet he's putting it in the context of a rookie that's playing for the Dallas Cowboys named CeeDee Lamb. And to be real with you, I expect nothing less than this caliber of lyricism from not only him, but for the majority of everyone within these organizations. But the problem is, they're not delivering quality songs. But that's ultimately the purpose of music, to get great songs that you will consistently listen to. Yes, having great bars is nice, but great songs don't necessarily need great bars. It's like when you got And One out here before they shut down and all of that stuff, but And One was known for making a whole bunch of phenomenal plays, people with phenomenal dribbles and things of that nature, making Showtime effects. But only one of these individuals made it to the NBA because only one of them knew how to put the ball into the hoop. And that's the purpose of the entire game, is to put the ball into the hoop. The purpose of the music game is to make great music, not just to deliver bar after bar after bar, which is nice. Not trying to take away from the fact that that's nice, but yet the avenue for that is the battle rapping area, you dig? If you're going to be in this to hit the mainstream, to go ahead and sell the most records and go ahead and get these streams and all of this stuff, man, you should be focusing heavily on your songs. Seeing exactly what it all you need to do, from expanding your hooks, knowing exactly different types of hooks that you can make, going ahead doing bridges, adding in singers. You don't always have to do the same genre of music every time you hop up on a track, even though that's the thing that you are known for. You can switch things up, you can switch up your flow, you can master your flow. There's so much more that you can do that he simply have not been doing over all of these projects that he's been releasing over and over and over and over. And that's why I'm giving this joint, man, a 2 out of 10. Not one that I really recommend. I really didn't even keep any of the songs that I thought were interesting.